Tres, dos, uno.
What got you into DJing?
That's a good question. Honestly, it came from me trying to study the different people I kind of wanted to emulate. And one thing that I found in common with like a couple producers like Swiss Beats and Timbaland is that they were DJs first. And the reason it's important to be a DJ first is because you can you understand what it takes to move a crowd. Once you understand that, you can kind of make anything. You can make anything that makes people feel something. And so, especially when I got into Morehouse, I was like, man, this is something I really want to do, where I can just understand what moves a crowd, understand the types of people and what they enjoy and feel. And so it was just honestly just me being intentional about studying people and studying music in the same way, because I was also learning new music while I'm DJing. Like, I didn't know Nuck If You Buck until I was 18 for some, and like that was just because I'm from the north. The southern culture was just so much different, and like brash and like all these different things that a lot of people knew. So yeah, man, it was just what got me into DJing. Is just like trying to keep studying the art and grow so that I can be a phenomenal producer. Like, that was my only intention.
What was your first DJing experience?
My first DJ experience was me at Morehouse. The homies from my freshman dorm wanted me to DJ their party, because at the time we were throwing parties at the upperclassmen's apartment who went to our freshman dorm. And yeah, man, I was just like really surprised someone asked me, and I was downloading all these songs from YouTube, and I went out there and did it, and I was awful. I was so awful, and it got to a point where they had to call in another DJ to come in to finish the party, because I just didn't understand at the time like southern culture, so I was playing a lot of the northern things. And yeah, man, but what it taught me was that like DJing is just a ruthless profession where you kind of have to learn through the fire. Like, the only way you get better at DJing is by DJing, which is most things, but it means that you have to suck. And so yeah, man, that was my first gig, and I didn't feel discouraged. I felt challenged to learn something new and be like, I don't want this to happen again. And after more and more parties, it started happening less, and then I became decent. And I was able to start DJing around Atlanta, and that's how I kind of got my start.
How did you start getting better?
Honestly, it was learning through the fire. Also having like mentors who were invested in my career in that way, where I was able to kind of be next to them and just be a nerd and study. And like, I used to like when they were DJing, like write songs in my iPhone, like, oh, this works, this makes the crowd go crazy. Or I would like just like kind of just study how things made people move. And also just by being bad, eventually you just become good. I feel like even then, like I remember my first party where I was like, oh wow, I can actually do this, and it was wild, man. A window got broken. It was like a house party, and that's how I knew. And I was kind of anxious about the window, and then I talked to another DJ, and he's like, that means you did a good job. And so yeah, man, it was just like continuously like trying at it. I feel like that's with anything. It's so applicable to like everything that you do in life. It's no, I don't think that Steph Curry, the first time he shot a three, made it. You know what I mean? I'm almost confident he missed, but it's just something about like continuously going to the gym, continuously like doing it, that puts you in a position that you can become better. And you can, if you continue to do it past that, you can become the best. And so it was just learning through the fire, man. And then when I did my first successful party, I was like, okay, how do I build on that? How do I keep growing? It's just practice. And eventually it became second nature, where now I don't worry about being a bad DJ at a party anymore. I'm more worried about like what type of experience I'm going to give people.
How did you end up going into production?
That's a good question. I feel like it's funny. So I produced first before I DJ'd, actually. And that was like kind of my main trade and what I wanted to do. But when I got to college, I focused more on DJing. But what happened is like during that period that I was going back and forth to New York, I went to my friend Dante's house during that time. I just went to go visit him, whatever, and we worked on beats. And I made this beat with the Dells. It was a sample of the Dells. And from there, that beat ended up getting sent to my homie Zane, who's an engineer at the time. And he worked at this place called The Parlor in New York. And he played the beat that I made for Jadena. So that happened in like 2016, 2017. So by the time I graduated, I wasn't really producing anymore. I was just focused on DJing. And I thought that's what I really wanted to do. I thought I was going to be a DJ. I wanted to tour. I wanted to do all those things. And then I get a call from my homie Zane. And he was like, yo, this song is coming out. At the time, I didn't believe him. Because especially in the music industry, bro, like people say anything. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, I played this song for Rihanna. Yo, I played this song for Jay-Z and all this stuff. I remember even at one point I sent beats to Nas, I think, and nothing came of it. So I thought nothing of it. I thought it was just like a lie. Not a lie, but I thought that like people were just talking. Turns out it actually became a placement. And that was my first major placement, especially because Jadena was signed to Sony at the time. So it was a big deal for me, and it was like a huge step in my production. And I remember the way that people reacted to the song, and people were dancing and having a good time, and people felt good. And I was like, oh, I want to recreate this again. And I kind of like shifted my focus back into production. It was all because of that. It was just like, oh, I like doing this, and I kind of fell back in love with production. And I still love DJing, and the irony is that I'm going on tour as a DJ. I'm still doing all the things that I thought I would want to do. It's just that production is now the driver in the seat. Before DJ was kind of like the driver. So yeah, that's how I kind of got into it. It was just because I got a placement and realized that this is what I love to do. I fell in love with it in high school, but I kind of fell out of love with it because I didn't think that I could do anything with it. It was hard to collaborate with people. It was hard to like try to build something with production. I thought it wasn't for me.
How did you start building?
I think that's a good question. I feel like it came from, I started building when I started reaching out to people to collaborate. I stopped forcing it when it was hard. I think collaboration, when done right with the right people, is very easy. It's very easy to work with somebody. And I think at the time I was so focused on, oh, I need to work with this person. You know what I mean? It wasn't until I started understanding what spaces were for me. And what I mean by that, it wasn't hard to collaborate. It wasn't hard to grow. And that's how I got into it. And a lot of it was just building with my actual friends. And a lot of it was just like being with people that I actually cared about and loved and appreciated. We started doing stuff together, and naturally, because we were just getting better, we were able to collaborate with different artists eventually. And that's how I got here.
What are some of your highlight experiences DJing?
In DJing, I think when I started, I sometimes as performers, we try to think of the biggest moments, right? Where we're just like, man, it's because I performed in front of thousands of people, or it's the time I went on tour for the first time. And I could tell you these grandiose experiences, but honestly, bro, it's the moments where I'm done DJing and someone's like, man, I had a horrible day today, or like my week was trash and this party made it better. So it's really just the people, bro. It's really just like getting the reactions from the people and being appreciated in that way. That makes me be like, that's the highlight. And so, yeah, it's just talking to people and people saying that they appreciate the work that I do. And especially when it impacts them positively, that's my biggest highlights when I'm DJing.
What are some of your highlight collaborations?
That's a good question. So one of my well, actually, let me play it first. This is one of my highlights.
She spell out her name with a waist, baby girl, no need to tell me. getting too hot in here. Take my shirt off, she think I'm Nelly. Oh no, I'm dead.
So what this is actually part of my project, and it's my debut with the person that I started my career with. His name is Jadena. And so during we went to Ghana together through this program called Birthright Africa, where she was on the board of, and I knew him previously before from the placement that I had. And when I was talking to him, and he was just like, "Yo, let's like work on some music together," because we haven't worked on music since that song, which is called Susu. Put it back in like Susu. Put it back. And I remember I drank some palm wine in Ghana. And I was like, yo, I need to write a song about this. Because I was thinking about like Drake, who is Champagne Poppy, and all these different people who were like, yo, I'm the Douce Mommy or something like that. And I was like, I wonder how cool it would be to make a song about a drink that is normally in black countries and say, I'm the palm wine Poppy. And so I remember making this idea and I sending it to him with the expectation that he may not understand it, but I would just want to try it. And he loved it. And now that song is out right now, and it's my debut as an artist with the person I started my career with. And that's the highlight collaboration for me, and I can't wait to keep building off of the platform that is given me. And pretty soon I'm going to release music of my own on solely and continue to do collaboration. So like this is my highlight collaboration for sure. Yeah.
What's your goals with making music?
I think my goal with making music is to honestly, bro, is to just use it as a tool to be an all-around creative. So I look up to people like Tyler, the Creator. I look up to people like Childish Gambino. I look up to people like Pharrell, who use music as a tool to just be able to do cool stuff. You know what I mean? Where it's like scoring movies. I think making art, like directing. I think that's my biggest thing. And then also just to work with people that like I looked up to and like admired, you know what I mean? Like, man, if I could work with like Q-Tip, that would be amazing. If I could work with Pharrell, that would be amazing, you know what I mean? If I could work with Tiana Taylor, that would be amazing. I just want to be able to make music with people that I respect. Bruno Mars would be cool. Like just all these cool people that I admire and listen to. I just want to be able to work with them, and then also use music as a tool to do a whole bunch of other creative endeavors that I'm kind of excited about. So my biggest thing is just to, that's my biggest thing, is just to keep creating and doing cool things.
Do you have any dream collaborations?
Good question. Bruno Mars for sure. Who do I actually want to work with? Tiana Taylor. Kelly Rowland would be interesting. I think that would be fun. Duke Deuce would be interesting. That would be fun. I think just anyone who's fun and interesting, and I want to see them in a different world. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that come to mind. But honestly, it's a lot of people. Honestly, my biggest dream, if I could work with Pharrell and do something cool, I think that I can be like, all right, I did it. I did the collaborate. I'm done. You know what I mean? So I think Pharrell and Q-Tip. Oh, Busta Rhymes. All right. It's gonna be Q-Tip, Busta Rhymes, Pharrell. That would make my New York child so happy. I'd be like, yeah. I can't even make that up. You know what I mean? That'd make me excited.
What are your future goals?
I think my future goal is a couple things. I want to be able to score a movie. I think that would be cool. Like actually do it with my friends. I think that's like my biggest one. My second one is directing. Like I want to be able to direct and tell stories. I want to write and produce stories. That's really fun. And yeah, man, I think just going into different mediums, but specifically directing and scoring would be the fun. Oh, and I want to voice act. I think that would be cool. I want to be like a cartoon character. But those are my three, honestly, outside of music. Oh, and a world tour would be fun. I want to see the world. That would be really cool.
What type of cartoon character?
That's a good question, man. A part of me wants to be a part of some type of adult animation, where like an archer or something, but also like maybe some like kid stuff. Like I would want to be on Cartoon Network or something. Like I think that's so cool. Like to just be a cartoon character. Like I want to do that. That would be fun.
Villain or hero?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I would enjoy being the villain. I always empathize with the villains, man. Like, you know, like when Thanos came into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I was like, yo, like I get it. So I think I like the idea of being a nuanced character in that way. So I think a villain would be really cool. Yeah.
What type of movies you're trying to direct?
That's a good question. I think a part of me, so right now I'm diving into documentary style, and that's interesting. But I think eventually I kind of want to go into drama and comedy. I think would be fun. I think I'm still discovering my artistic voice on that side. So I think that like it will eventually tell itself. But if I can, off the top right now, I think drama and comedy would be interesting. Like the mixture of two. I think they talk well to each other and they're more present than people may think.
Who would you say are your inspirations?
In directing?
In all of your art fields.
Pharrell is my inspiration. Tyler, the Creator, is my inspiration. Childish Gambino is my inspiration. Quincy Jones is my inspiration. Cause Quincy was just cool. He just talked cool. When I get older, I want to talk like Quincy Jones or like Bootsy Collins, like they talk in parables. They be like, "It do what it do, man."
Sometimes, you know, not in unspoken words, just saying, "I want you to jump, and there's no net, but I won't let you fall, and you won't let me fall," because there's a love and a respect and a trust in that relationship, and we've had some pretty good moments. So that's really
like that's how I want to, you know. But they're really cool. But those are my inspirations for right now, honestly. Gambino's the biggest one because I like what the duality between film and music. Yeah.
Final thoughts?
I would say is two things. The first thing is I'm gonna give you advice that DJ Mark B gave me, but I'm gonna make it PG. I'm not. He was cursing, but it's okay. I'll try to. He was like, mess with people who mess with you. That's the biggest thing that I live my life by, where it's like, it goes back into that idea of collaboration, where it's just like, people who really mess with you, you don't have to go into spaces that you're not welcomed in. And the second thing is like, you can do it ethically. Like you can treat people fair, and you can take care of people while also striving for success. I think in the long run of things, in the short run of things, it may not be as beneficial. But in the long run of things, when you finally look back at your life, at least you can say, I did this ethically, I did this fairly, and I didn't take anything from anyone, and I treated people fairly. Yeah.